Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm the Arkansas RC newbie, and on today's episode we're going to be taking a look at this Gool RC waterproof BL3650 ESC and brushless motor combo kit. Under 50 bucks, pretty budget. You guys got to see what was wrong with it, right? It did not work when I first purchased this thing, but we've got some stuff figured out, and I think you guys will be surprised on what the big issue was and the update. All right, so without further ado, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and let's get into it, guys. Alright guys, so here we go. We're going to give you guys the update on my Gool RC 3650 BL ESC brushless motor combo kit that I got from Amazon. And I'll put some affiliate links in the description below if you guys decide you want to go with this, but it's like $49 right now, so under 50 bucks. Now let's give the Reader's Digest version of what happened when I installed this for those of you that haven't watched the first video. I couldn't find out what was wrong. I installed the motor on the Gool RC on my whole traxxas setup here. This was just a roller. It came with the ESC and it also came with a servo. Now the issue was as soon as I hooked everything up, I put a battery on there, it would make some beeps from the ESC communicating with the motor. I would gun it, and as soon as I would gun it, it would go really fast and it would just die out. Like over and over and over again, it kept doing that. The servo worked with no issues, and I was like just completely bumfuzzled as to why it would not work, why it would not run. It would run just for a few seconds and it would die out. So this is the battery I was using. This here is a 7.4 volt 1400 milliamp 2S LiPo, and I use this on my crawler, you know, because this is mainly a crawler channel, but we're gonna be playing with some other electronics and different things. But anyway, this is what I use for crawling. So everybody was like, man, you might want to look at your battery power. It might be one of the issues. You might not have enough juice. So I went ahead and we ordered a 3S 5200 milliamp 11.1 volt ADC battery, and we're like, you know what, this right here should be getting this thing going. So we got the cameras ready, was about to record again, and the exact same thing happened with the entire setup. ESC would beep, the motor would beep, it would go on for about 10 seconds and then it would die out. So you can imagine that became really frustrating. I kept doing a bunch of research and everybody was trying to help me on the channel and sending in comments saying it might be your battery, and I appreciate everybody. And apparently there's been a lot of these that everybody's been buying that have been kind of duds. So I think I got a dud. So what I did was I put in for a replacement for the Gool RC. They sent me a replacement. I still have to send one of them back, but this is what came with it. And this is the used one because I've got the new one installed right now. We're about to go outside and play with this guy, okay, here in a little bit. So I installed the new ESC, and there it went. Everything communicated just fine, and the throttle and everything worked, okay? But the whole kit comes with the brushless motor. Alrighty, now one thing I do want to point out, this is the brand new brushless motor that came with the replacement I have to send back. You see the ends here, all the heat shrink ends, there's no color to it, right? And the old one came with color coordinating heat shrink on there. So I thought that was pretty interesting, something that's kind of a difference. Another thing is you don't get to decide what servo you get. It's either like an aluminum one or a plastic one. So we lucked out on the second servo, and we also got a aluminum covered servo, which is better in my opinion than the plastic one. But they say they're both waterproof. You still don't get to select which one you get. So it came with that, and then of course your ESC. Now something I have not tried, and we're going to be trying real time. It's going to be a real time review. I have tried this battery, and again, we're going to take it outside, we're going to run it. But in the comments, somebody was like, hey, there's a bunch of people saying, man, it might just be your battery. And then there was one dude in there, and YouTube held the comment. I put the comment through, but he called me an idiot for trying to use this battery. And he said, man, you're so dumb. There's not enough power in that battery to run your setup over here. So we're going to see if I'm an idiot. We're going to try to use this one first, my little 2S 7.4 volt 1400 milliamp. We're going to see if this will run this one. And again, I didn't hold the comment. YouTube held it and they didn't put it through. So the guy was calling me an idiot. We'll see if I'm an idiot or not. Okay, so we're going to go outside. We're going to run this battery first, see if it actually powers on and everything else. And then if we can actually run it with this guy. And then we're going to put the big boy in there. And another thing is with my setup, I've just got everything kind of laid in there because it's not finished up yet. But this battery, my battery tray fits the 3S, but it will not strap in there. So I kind of got a little ghetto here. I got me a rubber band to go across, but Alright guys, so that's the update on this thing. They resent me one, and I believe it works. Everything is good with it. And it just happened to be the ESC, I think, is the biggest issue. But they sent me one pretty quick, and they gave me a bunch of time to send the old one back. I'm just kind of figure out what's going on with this thing. But alright, let's go outside. Let's try the 2S on it first and see if it runs. And apparently the ESC will automatically sense, I got my paper here, it'll automatically sense if you're running a 2S, a 3S, or a 4S, a 5S, or a 6S. So there's no program card needed, but there is a program card needed if you want to kind of mess with all your settings on here. So let's go play with this thing outside, see what happens. Alright guys, so here we go. Now again, we've got the 2S, right, the idiot battery. We're going to see if we can power this thing on and if it will run with this little guy. And I have not tried this whatsoever. This is real time. Alright, so we're just going to kind of put that in there like that. We're going to power it on. Okay, did you hear that? Okay, so first thing is going to be the servo. Pretty slow servo. It's not the fastest, but again, we're running a little bitty battery. We're gonna run the faster one, or the 3S here in a second. Okay, again, we don't have a program card, and here's the throttle. Okay. So indeed, it will run. Let's run this thing on the pavement and let's see what it does. Okay, and it's running, so I don't think I'm an idiot. Okay. So the 2S is running. Somebody was asking about the program card, and it's supposed to automatically recognize what kind of battery you're running. We can see that there. Like I said, the servo is not the fastest, but it's working. So the ESC was the biggest issue. Okay, I'm just going to hold the trigger. I'm just going to hold the trigger slightly down. And let's see how smooth it is. Okay, there is some cogging there. I think this is a 16 tooth or an 18 tooth pinion gear. Okay, so you see once we get punchy here, there's a little bit of lag, but for the most part it works okay. So what we're gonna do next is let's go ahead and put the 3S on there, see if it's a little bit faster. All right, guys. So we now have the 3S LiPo hooked on here. And we're going to power it on, and we're going to see the difference in the power and speed as opposed to the 2S. So, alright, so you guys heard it power on. And let's see how fast we can get this thing up to. Alright, you guys ready? I think you're going to see a massive difference. Alright, so this is going to be full punch, full takeoff. Yeah. Huge difference. I mean, two-wheel drive is definitely hard to keep in line. We have to really start it slow. Now, I think having that program card would probably really help, especially this thing being a two-wheel drive. The servo is still really slow. The battery pack really doesn't make a huge difference. I mean, we got enough turning radius on this thing, especially for the two-wheel drive. Four-wheel drive might be hurting a little bit, but I mean, just being a basher, it's definitely not bad. Let's check out the, I don't think there's a drag brake setting. There is if you have the program card, but right now, I'm just going to kind of punch it a little bit, about half throttle, and I'm going to let it come to us. Yeah, there's really no brake there. And then this will go, we'll go from half throttle, or close to full throttle, and then brake. See if we can keep it straight. We'll do full throttle here. Okay, that was right, full throttle. Brake's not bad. We're going to go over here on the road, and we're going to come back. I'm not sure on the distance yet, but let's see if we can get it. There we go. Yeah, it's definitely pretty damn fast. Works a hell of a lot better with the 3S than it did the 2S. But it did work with the 2S. I mean, I'm not sure how much life you'll get out of it. But, I mean, for 50 bucks, I mean, that's what you're going to get. Yeah, I did have a big issue with the ESC, but they took care of me. Amazon seller sent it pretty quick, and I'm happy with this purchase big time. Alright guys, well there you go. So it works with the 2S. Again, program card probably be a good option to buy. I might even get the program card, although this is just a basher. But that 3S LiPo 11.1 volt definitely makes a huge difference. It does have the fan on the ESC. That's working. I even unplugged the old ESC, unplugged the fan on there just to see if that was an issue, but it was just ESC problem. I don't know, but ESC is not warm at all. The motor, on the other hand, let's touch it. Okay, motor's pretty warm. I can still touch it, you know, but it's pretty damn hot. Okay, but all right, guys. So I'm gonna be sending that old one back, and there you have it. That is the Gool RC BL3650 ESC combo review. I'm really happy with it, man. 50 bucks. I don't know if you can really beat that to have a brushless setup. Yeah, you don't really get a lot of different options that you can select, and they're kind of vague on what you're gonna get exactly. But hopefully you luck out like me, at least getting a good servo and a good motor. And you know, like I said, they took care of me on the ESC, so I'm not completely upset about that. But all right, man, if you guys want to get your hands on one of these, check out the affiliate link in the description below. But appreciate you guys watching Arkansas RC Newbie, and hopefully you guys hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and we will see you on the next one, guys. I'm gonna keep on playing with this thing. It's too much fun.